It's a beautiful day in Las Vegas. I'm here with the Joey Lutz, Joey B, K1 Hard, Kastaplast, 9 speed. I'm going to throw this straight, and I'm going to catch this tree right in front of the basket, or else I would have been parked. My mic, for some reason, didn't want to work today, even though I did a mic check right before, and it worked. I gotta check some settings on my phone, but I'm gonna putt here. I realize I have the wrong putter right now after almost putting it. Maybe I would have made it with that understable putter, but I'm gonna go to a glider putter with a Pixel, which I've been putting with lately. I like it, and I'm putting into a headwind. I'm gonna reset up. I think I just catch the cage. That was about a 35-footer. Tap in for par. I'd like to get that one. I hit the tree with the lots. So I'm playing par golf early on. It's number 2 is like 440 dog leg right. And no, I don't know anyone who can birdie that hole. So I'm just throwing an upshot with a birdie reach. And then I'm going to throw another upshot with a Berg X. Love this disc. It is my favorite disc. This is my precious child. That upshot will do. Leaves me with about a 12-footer. 15. Putting with the Pixel. Taking my time. Getting my alignment. Keeping my nose up on this one. Let the disc do the work. Here I'm throwing a birdie reach out to the left. And I'm going to skip back just past that 5th tree. Going to set me up nicely for another open, just super open approach. If you go to the right gap and you don't make it, you have a really tight approach, and it just doesn't make sense to me. So I just try to play out to the left. Sometimes the basket's right behind me, so they do keep a basket over there, so there's no Mando to the right of anything. Unless you're playing some TD who wants to make it hard for everyone. But sometimes they put the basket way out past those right light poles. So I'm throwing a Berg X, torquing it pretty good. It hangs up, and I'd say I'm only like 12, 15 feet. Real nice approach from, about 200. That Berg X is money. Money in the bank. I will keep a Berg in the bag just for like super straight tunnel shots. But that Berg X is anything within 200. Anything. I'm going to play a forehand out to the left. Once again, no nonsense. I don't quite turn it over enough, so it comes back and I'm pretty pinched. I've got a really tough approach here. I'm trying to make up my mind on what to do. There's a gap out to the left. It's past that tree right in front of me, just underneath that far tree. So I'm looking at the through gap, maybe like a flex shot through there with a forehand. Not really a backhand, maybe a flex hand. But ultimately, I'm like, get away from this tree in front of me and try to hit this gap out to the left. And this gap out to the left on a real steep hyzer with something overstable, which I got the disc, the Birdie Ultra, Birdie Disc Golf Supply Ultra. It's a 5403, and I'm going to put this on a steep hyzer. And I actually get just past the basket, which is real good approach for the position I had. I'm going to clean up the putt. These guys behind me are smoking hella weed. Good for them. Hopefully their jobs are all right with that. So I'm just kidding. They don't have jobs. So I'm going to throw straight and hyzer back. And I do a good job. Pretty much a little too straight. I didn't really carry a Firebird. If I had thrown a Firebird there, 9-speed Firebird, it would have really dug. This one just kind of went straight and faded. That Joey is a real nice overstable disc. I'm really digging that. I have not gotten it to do anything like straight or flippy. It is just overstable, but less overstable than a Firebird. So if that makes sense, it's just like kind of like a Thunderbird, I guess. Dig it. There's a par. I'm going to throw this Cax. First time throwing it. It's a K3, and I took out the K1 Soft. Love the K1 Soft. Cax Z. That's more straighter Cax. I'm just checking this out, and this is real kind of just stable, which I like. I'm going to definitely keep it around. It's nice to have something further than the Ultra before you get into the fairways, so it's definitely still a mid-range. I'd say the K1 is kind of closer to a fairway, but this K3 is still slow enough. There's a par. Still slow enough I classify it as a mid. This guy's kind of pushing me through, kind of rushing me. Turned something over into the tree. Really crummy shot. I'm not really happy with this hole. But luckily, it kind of lights a fire under my butt to start pushing the envelope, pushing the issue. I throw a real crappy upshot here. It's not terrible, but it's not far enough. So it leaves me with like a 35-footer, maybe 40-footer. So I'm going to throw the Prodigy PA5, and I really didn't give this enough play today. It was still a little windy, but it's good for long putts. I do make one really long one, which is awesome, but here I'm throwing the Ultra. It's just past the trees, a ways past the trees, before the fence. That's a 5403. I'm going to put it on a flex, and I kind of just straight flex it, and I'm parked. It fades right back at the basket, and it stops real nice. Got about a 10-footer, not even. So I'm gonna do my Minnesota slide, and bango. A little low, but the wind was weird. It was like there, but not there. It was not like ripping, but it was definitely pushing some of my putts down. Throwing the Joey B out at the end of the fence there, just before the end of the fence for the tennis courts, and I throw a good line, and it holds it real nice. I got that to just hold a steady hyzer, and I'd say I'm about 30. No, not even. Probably 25. And there's a headwind, so I'm going Bergex headwind putt. I'm going to try to keep this one draw metal. There's OB out to the right, but it's flat, so I'm going to try to just get this on the pole. And the wind picks up. But you can do that. Take your time. If the wind picks up, just step away and get yourself ready. Tell myself it's time to go. And I catch some chains. Hangs up. It's a nice birdie. That erases that dumb bogey. And then here I'm throwing a Joey Lutz. And I'm going to rip on this a little wide, but I get a good, nice penetrating skip forward. So it gives me about a 40-footer. I think this hole's about 3-something. I didn't really get all of it. Wasn't really trying to. I was just trying to get in the circle. I'm just outside the circle. I'm going with a PA5 on a stepper. And like a stepping razor, better watch my side. I'm dangerous, like Peter Tosh would say. And bang. Sizzler.
All right, I'm going to try to turn something over
So,
on a hyzer.
Here we go. One down. This is a dogleg right, and I've discovered that just throwing it real hard straight through that gap gives you a better approach than trying to turn something
Nice
over
flat
where you're
hard.
closer to the basket, but then you have these trees to
headland.
contend with. So just play the straight shot. Just play as far as you can straight, which I do here. I play it out there. A little bit of a
I'll take the
side
distance here
wind,
because it gives me a really nice
but I put it
approach
out
to-
there. And as you can see, there's a nice left to right approach here. You don't have to go underneath the trees. Throwing the Berg X, putting a nice little spin on it. And yeah, I'm about 10 feet from the basket, maybe 12. Actually more like 15, but I got this. A little bit of headwind. Just step up, can it. It's a par. Pretty stoked. 2 down. So sitting 2 down. Throwing a birdie reach. I'm just going to try to keep this. It's a dog leg right. Kind of burn it over, but I'm right at the mouth. To the point where if you just go down into that tunnel over there, you'll probably score some heroin. But I'm just going to lay up and keep it PG on camera. So, yep. Take a tap in.
So this west side
And
hatchet.
here I thought about throwing the hatchet. But
you know what?
look at me. I say, nah. I'm going to throw my Roadrunner today. I got an Innovo Roadrunner Champion. Love this
I'm gonna
disc.
throw the
Pretty
ca-
deep.
The Innova
Love this
Roadrunner
disc.
on a
Solid.
hyzer and watch it flip.
I can turn this over. I had a Star Roadrunner I was not turning over, but this thing I could torque on, and which I do. I put a good little spin on it, stand it up, watch it glide right. A little too much, but
the basket.
it's all good.
I'll throw a nice
The Berg
straight
X.
Berg X.
It's literally
Try to play to the left of the tree.
my out disc. I'm going to flick it just pin high. I leave a little bit of meat on the bone,
Left
but
me
there
a
were
little
some people
short.
watching, but whatever. They're going to watch me make a putt. I think I've got about a 20-footer, 20-ish, inside the circle. Nice shady spot. What's up, Chains? Here I'm going with the Roadrunner again. I really like the Roadrunner for this one. It's straight and through that right gap. I'm going to aim at the green tree and let it flip, which it does, but it kind of gets overturned a little bit. Had it gotten just a little slower, if I'd thrown it softer, it would have been parked, because it would have given me an angled skip at the basket. But yeah, I've got a real nice easy approach. Whatever, I'll take a par here. I'm sitting 2 down. It'd be nice to get a long 50-footer. It's not going to happen, but I'll take a tap in par. Yeah, my thing. Okay, now I'm throwing the cacks again. My thing is, I'd say about 10 to 12 of these are birdieable out of 24, but like legit, I'm not getting 10 to 12 of them. I throw a nice little, just a stock straight hyzer through the 2 mandatories. And I'm going to try to give this a run. I mean, if you're putting from 50, 60 feet, you're not going to make 10 to 12 birdies. So I was happy getting a few birdies today. The conditions were decent. I'd say my prime score here is a I think my best is 7 down. Wasn't that long ago. I think I could do better than that. There's some birdieable holes, and then there's some holes that aren't birdieable. So listen to this guy yap. He's a yapper. I'm just going to go for par on the holes I feel like going for par on. This one is either you make it. I wish I had the K1 soft where I would have hugged the tree a little straighter line. But that cax is like the perfect distance on a stock hyzer straight shot. So I'm stuck with the K3 today. Give myself a little bit of a comebacker. I got it. Nice shady spot. Here we go. I'm going to throw my stock forehand hyzer through the gap. No frills. I think that's a Jeff Beck album. I'm going to get out here. My usual spot. Stock little forehand approach of the Berg X. Got a lot of room. My favorite. Nothing pinched. I put it 5 feet pin high, so stoked on that. 10 feet pin high, something like that. Nice shady spot. When in doubt, aim for the shade. All right, there's a family over to my right, so I take the greasy route through the trees with the forehand, and I hit it. I didn't want to throw grip lock and hit their child 20 feet off the pad. So I just say, you can chill. Toss a nice little forehand through it. Don't really turn it over. Had I turned it over, I would have gotten up to the pin. But nice little, hyzer, stock hyzer. I guess a little straight to hyzer. Birdie reach, 169. I'm going with this Prodigy PA5. Getting a little fancy, but that's not really my game. That's pretty dumb, actually. I leave a lot to come back with. I'd say I'm about 25 feet. But you know what? I'm kind of pissed I gave myself this 25 feet. So you're going to watch me just absolutely pure this putt here. Chains. This next one, I thought about throwing the hatchet through the gap on the right. And then I'm like, wait a second. Why would you try to throw it through a gap 250 feet away when you can just play through this massive 100-foot wide gap on the left with a forehand? All right. Which I do. Got that all day. Puts me out past the trees and gives me a shorter run for upshot. I don't think I've ever really gotten this one turned over enough to run it. Sometimes when it's in the right position, you can definitely run a birdie. But this one kind of peters out to the left. Not exactly ideal, but I'm going to get it. These guys are behind me, and they cut their music right as I was throwing, but I fucking pured it. These douchebags. I'm going to throw Berg X underneath the tree. Park it for par. This is a gettable. See a lot of fours in this hole. That was the Joey Lutz I drove with. Got about a 12-footer. Maybe 20-footer. Take my time here. Those palm trees. This is a turnover shot. Dog leg right. And I'm going to put a nice hyzer flip on it. Get a good ways up there and hit a tree. Hit this tree, bounce back. I'm going to get down, give myself a decent approach. This guy's hurrying me through. He was chill, though. Said he was playing a tournament in Washington. Good for him. I'm going to ask this lady kindly to move or lose your head. And she speaks English, luckily. I'm going with the stock birdie reach forehand. Get it underneath the trees. Give myself a real nice approach. You know it's time for the Berg X. Got about 140 in, 150 in, and I kind of leave it right. But I got this. It's a 4. I thought about coming back for Pixel because it was a headwind, but I got it. Headwind putts I've just decided don't even screw with them with the Pixel. So I'm going to throw a birdie reach on a flex line. I can it. I'd say I throw that about 380. It's up there. These two people over here speak English. I asked them kindly, I'm going to be throwing like right at you. And they understood. They moved. I'm throwing a Berg X. Luckily, it's a 1-speed, so it's not going to like penetrate their skin or their orifice. It's too wide for that, luckily. So here I go. I'm going to throw a nice little forehand here. Get the gap. Keep it low enough. Get a skip. Another headwind. I wasn't really thinking about my placement for a lot of these putts. The last 4, I was tired. My back kind of hurt. I'm going to throw a forehand stock out here. I get really fucking pinched by this giant bush. It's up there past another bush. I'm really screwed. There's a gap there, but I'm not throwing through that bush. I'm not feeling it. Sometimes if you're further back, you can throw a tomahawk or something. Nope. I'm going to have to pull a rabbit out of my hat here. There's a gap where I'm going with the forehand. I'm throwing the ultra. Let's get some forward skip, which I do, but it leaves me pinched in another bush for par, which you're going to see possibly the most illegal putt of all time. I'm really not sure what to do here. I'm underneath the bush. It's about 10 feet past the bush, and I decide I'm going to lay down like I'm on the beach, horizontal to the basket with my... I don't know if this is legal or not. I am behind the mark. I've got a small little gap here. I'm not sure. I'm hoping this is legal. This is not a sanctioned event, don't worry. And even if you did worry, that's your fault. So I'm going to take a bogey. But I did hit chains. I thought it was going to stick. Last hole, 24. I got some popsicle on my hand. I had trouble with a little stickiness in my hand. Throw a reach. I don't quite... actually, that was a strike. I wanted to throw it a little harder, but I'm tired. I want to go home at this point. PA 5. Nothing. Yeah, I think the sun kind of beat on me a little bit too much today. But I'll take my finishing score. And like and subscribe. Sorry my mic is not working. I'll try to figure that out. Next time, I'll have that figured out. I'm going to start recording on a different app and just meshing the audio together, because just recording in the video app is not working. So have a good day. Thank you.